Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Modix video. So yesterday, Killjoy was officially released to play, and a ton of players are wanting to try her out in Valorant. Today, I went ahead and compiled some of my best tips playing her. Just a quick disclaimer, she was only released yesterday, so these tips might seem beginner in a few months, but they should help you out for now. And just before we get into the tips, I want to say if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe with notifications on because we're uploading daily Valorant content until we hit 5,000 subscribers. Now on to the tips. So for our first tip, we have a tip regarding the turret. And I know that this is just day one and players just haven't really figured out Killjoy yet, but I wanted to go ahead and just make it public that you can rotate the turret by right clicking. I've seen a ton of players like positioning themselves in odd ways just to get this turret placement, but instead you can just right click and you can go ahead and place that turret facing this direction. The turret has a 180-degree cone, so let's say instead you place it the other way, then it's not going to shoot the opponent, so you do actually have to rotate it. So just a quick tip just to start out this video, because I know that some players were having trouble with that. And now our second tip brings us to the Nanoswarm grenades. And with this, I want to make sure that you guys aren't playing too fancy with the Nanoswarm grenades. So what I'm talking about is, let's say that players are continuously rotating through this teleport that I'm facing at right now from A site to B site. Well, some players might be like, well, what if we threw our nano grenade on top of this box? Well, I mean, it's a good thought, but it's actually not going to work because it doesn't deal any damage because it's not on the ground. You have to be like standing on top of it in order to deal damage with this. So a better alternative would be to just place your Nanoswarm grenade in this corner, just like this, because then you can still activate it. It covers half of the actual teleporter. So unless they're running like on the right side, which I mean they may, then they won't get hit by it. But this is a great way because, again, you don't need to use any other utility. You can hear these doors open and then you can go ahead and just pop that utility. So that was it for our second tip. Now let's go ahead and move right into our third one. So for this next tip, we actually have combining your abilities as Killjoy. So a great example I like to use is combine that Alarmbot with the Nanoswarm grenade. Nanoswarm grenade already does crazy damage, but if combined with the Alarmbot, the player will take 2 times the damage and it's going to be even more instant. So we can also use this whenever we have the turret. So my turret is going to go ahead and shoot whenever it sees somebody through this doorway. And as soon as I see it lock on, I can go ahead and just pop that Nanoswarm grenade and it will kill the player there. So once you learn to use your utility in combination, you're going to be able to do so well with Killjoy. So our fourth tip for this video is as simple as it gets. You're going to want to learn lineups for Nanoswarm. Constantly, you will find players just looking up at the sky, and this is probably because they know some sort of lineup. Because once you learn the lineups, you're going to be able to find lineups where it automatically goes behind generator, automatically hits behind the boxes. You learn the lineups for the post-plant situations, and you're going to be able to win most rounds. Luckily, I'm going to be releasing a video on this very soon, so be sure to subscribe with notifications on so that you don't miss this upload. So with players like Killjoy who have technology that you can pick up after the round, I normally am like, guys, just go pick up your ability after the round's done. But Killjoy is kind of an exception. So whenever we place that Alarmbot, it's going to go stealth and we're able to pick it up by holding Q. But then it has to go through a 20-second cooldown. So let me just show you guys what would happen if I picked it up after round. So right now the game phase is during game. I'm going to end the game phase. We have 7 seconds. We're going to go ahead and turn on the clock real quick. And then we're holding Q. We have it back, but the countdown is going. Just check what happens next round. So I'm still talking. It's smoothless. We don't actually have it. In order to save your Alarmbot for the next round, you have to go through the 20-second cooldown. So my biggest advice to you is to just try to pick it up. So let's say you're holding A side on binds. Hopefully the other team will go B, because you scared them off by using all your utility in previous rounds. If they go B, then go ahead and pick up that Alarmbot and save it for future rounds. So it's a bit of a different tip that I would normally give, but that's my advice for Killjoy utility as for saving credits. And as you guys can see, the Alarmbot is 200 credits. So you're saving 200 credits every single round if you pick it up if it wasn't used, because you can't use it and then pick it up. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and be our 5th tip, I believe. So now let's go ahead and get into the next one. So now our 6th tip for this video is to look at your map for intel on your abilities. So I have an Alarmbot placed right outside the doors on A. So we're going to go ahead and have a player run. And as you can see on the map, it turns red and then it hits them. And then I'm just able to tap them. I'm able to peek because you don't have to be peeking. I just wanted to show you guys that there was an Alarmbot there, so you can peek. So now there's also a turret placed right behind generator right here. So if the player pushes onto site, it gets hit, I can go ahead and peek off of the turret. They're probably going to try to shoot the turret because it's shooting at them. They're going to want to shoot, and then you can just peek and hopefully kill them. Keep in mind that as time goes by, they might start looking for players instead of the turret, like if you start swinging off of it too much. So just keep that in mind whenever using this tip. So for our 7th tip on this video, you're gonna want to place your turret in unpredictable spots. If you place a turret in common areas, then players will just be able to find out. So let's say, for example, I place a turret right here for this round. Once the player knows that the turret's there, then they're probably gonna guess it. See, he sees it this round. I am able to kill him. But then, let's say the next round, I want to go ahead and catch him off guard. I'm gonna place it right here. So then, once he peeks, it's gonna be a bit farther range, but it still should do a bit of damage. And we're able to just kill him again. So it's just switching up your turret combinations will help a ton just in the early days until we find like some set turrets that are really meta. But even when that happens, just playing and catching your opponents off guard will help you so much in Valorant. So for this whole video, we've been talking about how to play Killjoy defensively, but there aren't a ton of tips about her playing on the attacking side. So this next tip is going to be super simple. It's just to watch your flanks with the Alarmbot and the turret, because like we said earlier, you can look at your map for intel on the abilities. So I don't want somebody coming mid if we're pushing B tons, so I'm going to place my turret here just to make sure, and then if somebody runs through, they're going to go ahead and hit it, and I can look at my minimap. So we're already in B tons in this situation. Let's say that they keep on going. Well, I already have an Alarmbot there, so I can go ahead and see it just got hit. I can peek really quickly and get the kill. You see, I got an ace because of that. And that's what you're going to do if you use these tips that I'm giving you. So now our next tip that has to do with offense is actually going to be after you plant this spike. So let's say that you didn't have to use any of your utilities beforehand. Well, you can go ahead and just place your Nanoswarm grenade inside of the spike. So that means when somebody comes to plant, of course you wouldn't be sitting here. We can just play off the audio cues. So if they go to plant, well, they dead. And that's basically how it's going to work. And then, well, I guess they can try again. Huh. Nope. So yeah, it's really as simple as that. You can place these inside of there. The other players probably won't expect it either. So it's a good thing to try out at least once per game. So our next tip is going to be a cool tactic to actually boost onto higher elevated areas of the map. So I know this is just a really specified example, like this boost spot, like you could come over here to get to the same place, but you're actually able to go up like this high if you find a box that is this high. So for example, one of these crates, you're able to boost onto that. So basically you just want to come and stand inside this corner. We're going to just jump and place our turret. Then you just have to look and then you jump. And it's as easy as that. Then let's say that you don't want to waste your turret doing that. Just go ahead, pull it back and go through the cooldown. It is like a 20-second cooldown, I believe, same as the Alarmbot. So yeah, that is our tip. So let's move on. So we've been giving you guys a ton of Killjoy tips and tricks, but I thought we'd include one tip on how to counter Killjoy. So everybody already assumed that using Sova would be a great addition. Well, Sova can actually go ahead and see every single piece of utility that a player might have. And they're actually able to ping it as well. So go ahead and either use the Sova arrow to learn where the abilities are, or use your drone. So Sova is a great counter to Killjoy right now in the current state of the game, just because there aren't really any huge counters to the agent. And if you can find out where that utility is, you can decide to either just leave and not push onto the same site that Killjoy's at, or you can go ahead and just destroy those utilities. So our final tip for this video, just to wrap it all up, is a sick synergy between Killjoy and Sage. This is an insane strat that you should definitely try out because it's going to catch so many opponents off guard. So we went ahead and placed a wall, and then we have Sage on the other team. So now you just have to place your turret on top of the wall, and then you can go ahead and shoot the wall to have a floating turret, and this will still shoot the opponents. See, just like that. Like, they're not going to expect that. So you should be able to get 3 shots off before you go ahead and get it destroyed. But those are 12 Killjoy tips and tricks to hopefully help you out at the beginning of playing her. And if this did help you out, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe with notifications on, because we're uploading daily Valorant content until we hit 5,000 subscribers. We're going to be posting all Killjoy content this week. So if that's an agent you're looking to main, then be sure to have notifications on. Thanks so much for watching through this whole video. And if you did, be sure to let me know why Carnage is being annoying. And I will see you all in the next one.